Sound check for nobody watching. It's hot. Hello, Iman. How are you? Can you give me a sound check if you're listening? Can you hear me well enough? Awesome. Awesome. So, we've got one, so I start. Hello, and welcome to the world according to the Nasman. So, every Sunday I'm going to be getting on live, and that's part of my practice. Part of my practice to get out and spread my experiences. Um, this weekend was crazy, jam packed, filled. Hey, Casey. This weekend was jam packed, and I want to tell you all about it. So, first things first. Um, the weekend, this is October. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and as Changeworks, the company Casey and I have co founded, um, we were contracted, asked by NMC Hospital, to run or to join a function for them for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It happened at El Reem Island and Sky Tower at the health club. It was a pretty cool event. So it was Casey and I, her husband Dennis, and Natalia, our Qigong expert, and we were introducing Reiki. Reiki being an energy healing modality, which we, as Changeworks, Casey herself has brought to the UAE and made into a thing. Reaching Out with Reiki. Reaching Out with Reiki is a non-profit project where we bring cancer survivors, all stages, all ages. We bring them together with energy healers, and specifically, we follow the Reiki methodology. And Reiki is already attached to many oncology units across the world, and it has its proven context in the use for oncology. It brings in the relaxation, it stabilizes the person, sort of has them feeling better. And funny enough, you feel better and you are better. Your health outcomes, the progress of your disease, many things begin to restabilize. And there's many reasons for this, and partly because relaxation really comes from the nerve system. And your vagus nerve system is your parasympathetic nerve system. It's attached to your breathing, it's attached to a whole bunch of things that causes relaxation. And when it causes relaxation, when your parasympathetic nerve is activated, the nerve system is activated, it increases your immune system. Let's just say your immune system gets working better. When you're under stress, your immune system is under stress, and when you relax, your immune system has the chance to do the workings it needs to do. Start healing yourself. At this event, the four of us had done Reiki for the various participants who arrived. We also had a small little hypnosis demonstration by Munir Al Busaidi, our resident hypnotist. I had done a hypnosis session as well with a person. It was a really fun event, and that was Saturday. That was yesterday. So after this event, I have another amazing story, but this story begins way back, a couple of months ago. So, International World Yoga Day, the third one and the fourth one, I had presented in Abu Dhabi doing laughter yoga. I was invited by Catherine Armstrong being our laughter yoga leader. She had, our laughter yoga teacher. We shared Reiki with over 20 people on this day yesterday, on Saturday. Thanks, Casey. Um, so, laughter yoga, was trained. I was trained in laughter yoga by Catherine Armstrong, who was a ChangeWorks associate. She still is a ChangeWorks associate as far as we're concerned, but she has moved to Muscat, Oman. She's moved out of the UAE. So she was supposed to present at the third. She had personal issues. She couldn't present. The International World Yoga Day was run by the cultural attaché, the Indian cultural attaché, or the Indian embassy in Abu Dhabi. And it was a big event. There's 5,000 people minimum. and I did the third one, and I did the fourth one. I was re-invited. And for the fourth one, it was published somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where. But guess who caught wind of that publication? It was seen by Dr. Madan Kataria, somewhere, somehow, who apparently liked me, found me on Facebook. We became friends, and then he made probably the most fascinating proposition I have ever been through. He said, Nasser, I want to make you a laughter yoga star in the Middle East. He tickled my fancies, the exact perfect ego stroking I like. Dr. Madan Kataria has been here over the past 3 days. He actually just traveled today, and I have been hanging out with him for the past 2 days, and it has been amazing. And it's been amazing for more reasons than one. So first of all, I get to meet the man, and he's given me his story. He's shown me who he is, what laughter yoga is all about. And he started me on a laughter yoga journey. He has advised me to take up laughter as a way of life, to laugh at least a minute every day. Now, I'll get back to the laughter yoga. I'm going to use this opportunity being on live, knowing that it will remain on my feed, and I'll probably share it on YouTube later. I'll do the laughter with whoever wants to laugh with me. Mostly I'm going to be alone because this is online. I really am alone. So following on from the story, Dr. Kataria has, thank you for being there, Casey. Wouldn't have done it without you. Casey was with me when we went to meet Dr. Kataria the first time on Friday. And Dr. Kataria is here for a Tony Robbins event. And here's where things get juicy. See, I'm a fan of Tony Robbins. I've never ever imagined ever attending anything he does. But here I am sitting with the man who's telling me how much he likes me and how much we want to work together, and we're sharing our ideas and making plans to take over the world, so to speak. And then he says, you know, I'm here for a Tony Robbins thing, and I knew he was here for a Tony Robbins thing. And being the opportunity that I am, this was created hypnotically, by the way, as part of my personal journey of development. I have developed this opportunistic personality, and I said something like this: Dr. Kataria, since I'm opportunistic, can you introduce me to Tony? And he says, come. And he takes me. On Friday, I drive with him and his wife Madhuri, they're both wonderful people, and I have much more to speak about because I saw them on stage doing their thing live as part of joining this training. So I was smuggled in all technicality, to the Tony Robbins Platinum List training in Abu Dhabi at the Emirates Palace. And the day I went, it was the opening dinner, and it was fascinating. There was dancers, there was music, there was these little sand objects that I forgot in my car. You know, those colored sand art bottles, yeah? You know, there were beads, there were people eating, it was by the pool, the music was like and all the amazing stuff. Dancers went in, on stage, left, came again. Everyone was getting to meet everyone. While I'm there, I meet a very cool gentleman, one of the Platinum List, and he asks me, what do you do? And I say, I'm a hypnotherapist, I'm a psychologist. He's like, wow, can you hypnotize me? I want to feel X, Y, and Z. And I go, sure, let's do this. And I hypnotize him, and I meet him the next day, and he's happy. And then the next day, this is where the story comes, Saturday. So Saturday morning, Friday morning, I'm at a medical health conference, so a mental health conference, the X number International Mental Health Conference in Abu Dhabi. Dr. Midhat Al-Sabahi, my boss at work, and the panel at SKMC, and a lot of doctors I work with in the hospital and out, get together to do the scientific work and put the event together. It was held at ADNEC, Abu Dhabi Exhibition Center, and it was really good. Apparently the biggest turnout so far for the International Mental Health conferences, whether it's children and adults or whatever, 700 plus delegates from 17 different nations. And it was fascinating. It was amazing being there. I was there because I wanted to get my CPRP certification. CPRP is Community Psychiatry Rehabilitation, RP, something. It's a certification that allows anybody to low sound. Let me talk louder and bring this closer. So Ooh, I don't know your name, Nigel, but thank you for your feedback. Is this better if I speak louder and closer? Hopefully it is, because I don't really have any other options. All right, thank you. I'll take the thumbs up. So, the CPRP training is certified both by the Psychiatric Rehabilitation Association of America and the World Psychiatric Rehabilitation Association, World Association for Psychiatric Rehabilitation, WAPR, WAPR, as we like to call it, in our in-group of mental health friends. And the idea there is you don't have to be a mental health professional. You take the training, you take the certification, there's a couple of hours of training, 45 I believe, followed by testing, and then you're certified to do community psychiatry work. The presentation was amazing. Dr. Veronica Carey from, I believe, Exeter University in the US. That doesn't sound like the US. Exeter sounds like UK. Whatever. So she was really good. Her style, her whole presentation about teaching adults and how you have to teach adults and grab their attention and keep their attention, and the presentation about how 15% of people learn kinesthetically, meaning by touch, by practical, and 35% of people learn auditorially, meaning by listening, and 50% of people learn by visualizing and by written and seen material. And of course, the proper wording is learn better by. So you learn by all different ways, but 50% should seem to have a preference for visual, 35 for auditory, and 15 for kinesthetic. And apart from being fascinated by the information, by her style, by her amazing lecturing, being there in this function with all the mental health people, of course, personally, it drives me all the way back to all my hypnosis and NLP trainings, all the different things we had spoken about, Casey and I, Beryl and I, different hypnotists and I, and how they do their work and their belief systems. And there was a lot of match between community psychiatry, so community psychiatry rehabilitation specifically, and things I was learning from, for all intents and purposes, disciplines outside of mental health. So that was really fun for me. That was Friday morning and Saturday morning. I skipped on Saturday morning because I had a better opportunity. So Friday morning, mental health awareness, mental health international conference in Abu Dhabi. Do the lectures, fascinated by this woman, fascinated by her presentation, love her style. Leave there 4 p.m., go to meet Madan Kataria, Dr. Madan Kataria, head of Laughter Yoga, starter of the Laughter Yoga movement. Casey is with me over there, Dennis is there as well. We make a short video, about 10 minutes. We're going to be sharing it as soon as possible. We talk about our plans, our hopes, our dreams, our ambitions. It was wonderful meeting Dr. Kataria, because after that meeting, he takes me to the Tony Robbins event happening at the Emirates Palace. He sneaks me in backstage and introduces me personally to Tony, shake his hand, take a photo with him, and it was just like flabbergasting. I was starstruck. First Dr. Madan Kataria, and he does me a solid, and he just personally takes me and introduces me to Tony Robbins. Just a most amazing day ever, which was only beat by the next day. Say the next day I came back, it was pretty late, I was tired, I was supposed to go to the mental health conference again, complete my hours, get my certification. I woke up at 10 and I said, not today, but I checked my phone. I was questioning, should I go, shouldn't I go? I was feeling lazy. It's not like it's the first time I was late for a training, so I was going to go late eventually. But I look at my phone, Dr. Kataria says, anytime you're free today, come and meet me. So it's 10 o'clock and I'm like, listen, I'm free between 12 and 2, and then I'm free again from 6 onwards. So from 3 to 6, we ran the breast cancer awareness program, or the breast cancer month event, running with NMC at El Reem Island in Sky Tower at the health club. It was pretty cool. There was a clown there. She was making balloons. There was face painting. They took your blood sugar and cholesterol levels. There was supposed to be a mammogram and a couple of other tests, but errors aside, let's just say that did not happen. I met a couple of really cool personalities from NMC. I had a lot of fun with the people who were there. We did Reiki for 20 people. There was a masseuse there who seemed like they did massages for at least as many. Um, and um, and Munir, the hypnotist, that happens to be my cousin as well, or family, he brought along his daughter Sarah. Sarah and I had connected at an event we did earlier in Al Munira Beach, I believe. Uh, the Copacabana, Cabanas by the beach or something. It was a healthcare event, similar. Casey and I had showed up. Dennis was there. Ali, her daughter, was there as well, and Natalia. This was say 6 months ago. Um, at that event, Sarah came. Sarah is this cute little bundle of joy, 3 years old, I believe, or two. And we connected immediately, and I was like, doing the replacement daddy thing while daddy was doing his hypnosis um, presentation. So I meet her again, and we have the most awesome time. Bunir also brought his newborn Kamil, beautiful little baby boy, 3 months old. So it was a wonderful event where we got social interactions, where we got awareness, dealing with people in need within the healthcare system. NMC being the people who invited us for the event. Personal evolutions and personal little victories. We're being recognized as people who do useful things for other people. Um, um, so we finished that at around 6 o'clock, and Dr. Kataria had messaged me again. He says, "Can you pick up my wife from the hotel and bring her over?" And I do. And here's where I impose and I say, "Dr. Kataria, my cousin, my sister, she lives with us, and she is the biggest fan of Tony Robbins, and if I can get her in there, I'm going to be in her good books forever, and I really, really want to do this," because I showed her the picture I took with Tony the night before, and she got crazy excited. And she's like, "Oh, why didn't you take me? Blah, 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 it's Tony. Ooh, can you take me? Can you ask, please?" Now, I was really apprehensive about this. See, I was already a guest of Madan's, and he really just took me with. He was imposing, let's say, and I didn't want to double impose. But I came to the guided, much gratefully guided resolution that, hey, you never get what you deserve. You get what you ask for. So might as well ask. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. And lo and behold, by 7:30 p.m., my sister arrives, and I watch her have the most fun I've ever watched her have. And I was really grateful, and I still am really grateful to Dr. Kataria for enabling that. Of course, personal little victories, saying the truth, living my truth. I have developed a belief system. I've developed many belief systems. I say a lot of things that I say because I want them to be true. For example, one of the earliest things I have created like that for myself is I live life with no regrets. And there's a lot of backlash from the people around me. It doesn't always make sense. People don't get it or like it or feel like I'm stretching over. I can't speak in Arabic, yes. But let me finish my excitement in English, and then I'll go back in Arabic. There's a part that's laughter yoga that doesn't need any language. I'll do that in 2 languages. How about that? Where was I? So yes, living by codes that I create for myself. I have learned from a very respected. No, thank you for the feedback. Thanks. I have been reminded many times to speak both languages, and I do speak both languages, and I should. It's good. It reaches more people. So you don't get what you deserve, you get what you ask for. And this is an example of a practical truth or a professional truth or a presupposition, very similar to NLP presuppositions that I had learned before, things that say, the meaning of your communication is the response that you get. So if you tell somebody to shut up and they start screaming, then lo and behold, what you said was actually start screaming. And if you tell somebody to tell you something and they shut up, therefore what you said was shut up. Now, obviously, this isn't true in its entirety, but it's a presupposition, meaning that you use it functionally to make something true or not. And one of these presuppositions, or one of these mantras or mottos or things that I have created for myself, was you don't get what you deserve, you get what you ask for. And I think this was taught to me directly by David Schneider. David Schneider being one of my favorite hypnotists that I follow and learn from. So I applied it. I applied it with Kataria, and I said, "Hey, can you take me to the Tony Robbins thing?" And he did, and he took me backstage, and he introduced me to him, and I shook his hand, and I met his wife Sage as well, and we had a nice little chat. It was 30 seconds. It was great. I was starstruck. I literally just met the leader of the laughter yoga movement, and then followed by that, probably the most famous motivational speaker, life coach, NLPer out there. And then on the following day, I took my sister a personal dream, something that I really wanted to do for a close family member. And I'm ever so grateful that I was allowed to do that, both explicitly to Dr. Kataria and implicitly between myself for the opportunity. Alhamdulillah. It was really, really, really fun just watching her have fun and enjoy that. And that's the same time where I got to see the duetto in action, Dr. Kataria, Madan, and Madhuri. So Madhuri is his wife. In 1995, they started the idea of laughter and the Laughter Club. So Dr. Kataria, this is the story as I remember it, as he gives it, had been a medical doctor, and he was editing a medical journal at the time in Bangalore, I believe, or somewhere else in India. And he was searching for techniques to help improve your health. And he came across laughter, and it caught his attention, and it made sense to him, and he went deeper into it until eventually one day he decides, I want to create a laughter club. So he goes to the park 7 a.m. in the morning, because this idea comes up at 4 a.m. at night, and he grabs a couple of people, 5 of them was the number at that day, and he's like, hey, do you want to laugh? So they get together. Many people, as he tells me, looked at him and thought, what's wrong with this crazy guy? What do you mean laugh for no reason? So they created a laughter club. 5 people it started with. The next day, 16 people. Within a week, 55 people. And they were telling jokes at the time to create the laughter. But before I continue with this story, what's this whole laughter yoga deal? Why would I be speaking about laughter yoga to begin with? So you've all heard of the idea, the thought, laughter is the best medicine. Well, today we have scientific information, evidence-based papers that show exactly why and how laughter works. Maybe the why I'm going overstretching, but how laughter works as medicine, and probably why it's the best medicine. So the whys are easy. Laughter is very economical. You can do it anytime, and you will get the healthcare benefits from laughter. So what are these healthcare benefits? It would seem that the main way laughter yoga works is through deep abdominal exercising and breathing, and that activates your vagus nerve system, which is your parasympathetic system, which relaxes you, brings up your immunity, and improves your health in general. So laughter yoga. What is laughter yoga? Laughter yoga is simply 4 components. It starts with playfulness, childlike playfulness. Now, usually when Dr. Kataria presents it, he presents the playfulness at the end, but I'm going to start with childlike playfulness, because when I met him, one of his coaching elements for me, he said, look at my shoes. And I look down at his shoes and I notice they look similar enough, but one is dark blue and the other one is brown. They're definitely not the same shoe. And I look up at him and he's like, ha 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 ha. And he explains it. He says, see, for himself, he always was not able to wear different socks, different shoes. By the way, he was also wearing different socks, unmatching socks. And the element of playfulness and silliness, as he described it, was a personal development tool where he just wore it to see who would notice, who would care, who would comment, what difference would it be? What is actually wrong with wearing 2 different shoes and 2 different socks, for example? And he used that to illustrate playfulness. Now, the playfulness is childlike playfulness. And we've all seen children when they're playing, they're 100% into it, they're having some real fun. And that's part of the laughter yoga, part one, childlike playfulness. And for the childlike playfulness, there's a couple of things that we do in laughter yoga. For example, and this is the most famous one that stands out to me, very good, yay! Very good, yay! Looks a little bit silly. It is a little bit silly. That is the point. So, the second part is the breathing exercises. The breathing, the laughter initiates deep abdominal breathing. And that in itself is healthy for you. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system, amongst other things, not to mention the exercise, the deep exercise that is followed by the endorphin release. هذا ما يعلق بس الصوت اوكي ارفع صوتي يا رياضة اتكلم بالعربي نسيت yes I'll finish the four وبعدين برد I guess in Arabic, or maybe I'll just do another video another day in Arabic. Yeah. So the breathing exercises, the deep belly laughter, and he adds some context. He adds some context for me, which was very important. Coughing. When you do coughing, and when you're laughing and when you're breathing, you're supposed to hold your stomach and really feel those muscles work as you breathe. Expanding, relaxing, expanding, relaxing. And the same thing happens for laughter. Ha 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 ho 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 ho. The idea is to laugh from deep, to activate those muscles for the exercise, for the diaphragm being the seat of your emotional body or your astral body. The seat of the astral body really meaning it's attached to your parasympathetic nervous system. You exercise this, it activates your vagus nerve system or your parasympathetic nervous system, which relaxes you and increases your immunity. From there, your healthcare outcomes begin to improve. Okay? So, the third element is clapping, right? So clapping and energizing, some principles from yoga, getting a basic energization, because the idea of laughter is to lift your spirit, and another way to say lift your spirit is to say lift your energy. So lift your energy, lift your spirit, potatoes. And then going on, following on from that, the fourth part, which is what did we do so far? We did childlike play, we did deep stomach breathing, we did the clapping, and then the last part is the grounding and the bringing it all back down. These are yogic principles or principles that can be derived from yoga. هلا ولد عمي هلا الصوت تمام والامور طيبه everything's good تعرفوني. ياسر تكلم عن اللافter يوغا وعن الويكند اللي قضيته ويكند عجيب. Okay. أين كنت؟ blah 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 blah. Childlike laughter is one. Two is the deep breathing, and we do the breathing by laughter. And there's three sounds for laughter, and I'm going to teach you now. They sound like this. The first one, ha 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 ha, the ha sound. The second one, ho 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 ho, right? The ho sound, Father Christmas laughter or Santa Claus laughter. And then my favorite one, really, the he sound. And you'll notice my hand is on my stomach, and my hand is on my stomach to make sure that my stomach is the one that's moving, because in the end of the day, we're using laughter as exercise. The childlike play means you don't need a reason to laugh. You just laugh in itself because it's good. The clapping for energization, the childlike play, very good, yay. And then finally, the bringing it down, the meditations. And the meditations are laughter meditations where you try to keep quiet, let out the rest of that laughter. You can imagine when you do this in groups, it's a bit different. I like to use the humming meditation, so take a deep breath and hum for as long as possible. So the idea is when you do the humming, you're doing another breathing exercise where your exhales are much longer than your inhales. Now, there's a theory about sound and the humming sound itself, the vibrations having their own effects, but the breathing is very similar to the deep stomach breathing. First of all, it helps you relax. And second of all, it initiates your diaphragm, it gets you the parasympathetic nerve activation and the immune response that increases after that, or the immune strength that increases after that. And here's something that Dr. Kataria had told me. You have to make laughter a part of your day, and you have to laugh, you have to feel it, you have to know what it is to be able to spread it. And I do know some of it, but what he proposes, you have to laugh every day for at least a minute. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do it together. If you're interested, I will try to look directly into the camera, because a very important part of laughter yoga is the eye contact. Because if I'm laughing and being silly and making eye contact soon enough, you're going to be laughing too. But before I start, let's get back to the coughing issue, because coughing is one very good way to notice your stomach muscles moving. So if you want to join in, place your hand on your stomach and then start coughing. And you feel that contracting, and that's the same kind of laughter you want to go. And one of the things he told me to do is to drop my jaw a little bit while I'm laughing. He was watching me with eagle eyes, trying to get me to laugh well. So and of course, it's hard to sustain laughter. The first time you do it, the second time you do it, you're a little better. The third time you do it, you're a little better. And that's how laughing for no reason is specifically different from laughing to jokes. See, with a joke, the first time you hear it is funny. The second time to hear it, not so much. The third time, you're pretty much over it. Stop it already. Most jokes, most people. I know there's those of you out there who are different, and we celebrate differences everywhere. So, back to the laughter. We're going to laugh again. For all of you who are here, laugh with me for a minute. First, grab your stomach, start with a coughing. And the point is to notice that you're supposed to laugh from your belly. If you're laughing with me, by the way, please do what Casey did. Send me some of these emojis that are laughing. It's really easy. I'll make eye contact, I'll laugh, and I'll give you the simple suggestion. Laugh with me for a minute. See, laughter is the best medicine. If you don't know what to do, follow my lead. And of course, holding sustained laughter is difficult, and you're supposed to laugh for at least 15 minutes a day, continuous, to get the healthcare benefits of laughter. At least that's what the science says. So. And the idea really is your body cannot tell the difference between fake laughter and real laughter. And this is the breakthrough that Dr. Madan Kataria made about a week after, when the jokes started to die out, when the jokes weren't working anymore, when people were telling him, hey, the jokes, we got to find something else. And the jokes started to get more sexual, more prude and rude, and people weren't accepting of that culturally. So he said, give me 24 hours, let me figure this out. And he came back the next day and he had this genius revelation. Fake it till you make it. Laughter for no reason. You just laugh, and you laugh in groups, and you make eye contacts, and you're silly and playful like children, and you fake it and fake it and fake it, and very quickly the laughter becomes genuine. And laughter needs to be deep, deep from the stomach. And to be able to know what that means, learn from coughing. See, coughing is a process that already happens from your stomach. So grab your stomach and do a few coughs. If you're laughing along, by the way, I'm making eye contact. I've heard it's impossible not to laugh. If you've been laughing, give me some laughing emojis down here in the comments. And my offer really is, thanks for laughing, Casey. Laughter is the best medicine. This is my personal training, my personal development, the ability to laugh, take on laughter on a daily basis, to spread it to the world. The best way I could think of is making these videos and keeping them on for live. So one last time before we finish, the idea is the best laughter is deep belly laughter, and that's because it activates your vagus nerve system through your diaphragm. See, your diaphragm is the seat of your emotional body, your astral body, and when you're in emotional turmoil, you tend to breathe more from the chest. And I can tell you this from my office. In my clinical practice, most people, especially the ones who have anxiety disorders, my God, do they have horrible breathing. They cannot take a deep breath. It's almost like they're asthmatic. They breathe from the chest. A deep breath is like, right? Whereas a deep belly breath is, and it's very different. And breathing deeply from your belly for a sustained amount will activate your parasympathetic nervous system, your vagus nerves, and that will relax your body, will enhance your immune system, and you do this enough times repeatedly over and over again for a sustained amount of time, let's call it 15 minutes a day, every day, and you're going to have the healthcare privileges that come with, or the healthcare benefits, that come with amazing interventions like laughter yoga. So in order to get that belly movement going, we're going to start with the coughing, or what Madan Kataria says, cold engine. So if you live in a cold country where it snows and you try to turn on the car in the beginning, it kind of coughs up. Very good, very good, yay! Very good, very good, yay! And that's the playful, childful part of you coming in. Some people can't raise their arms above their heads for various reasons, medical and otherwise. We have another way to do this. Very good, yay! Very good, yay! Good. We're going to close with a humming meditation. If you would like, do so with me, please. Basically, we're just going to take a few seconds, a few breaths, let's say 3, the longest, deepest breath you can take in, and then hum, for as long as you can. I'm going to have my eyes closed, it helps me focus, so I'll do this 3 times. The idea is go as long as you can. This is to bring your energy down, to center yourself again. So deep breath in. To all you recent joiners, please watch my thing if it made you laugh, if you laugh along, and please do laugh along. Laughter is the best medicine. This is part of my personal development. I'm spreading the word. Laughter is the best medicine. Laughter yoga proposes to use laughter as exercise. And exercise, we already know the health benefits of exercise. If you've been laughing like I have, you'll notice your abs might be tired. You might be sweating up a bit of a storm, as I am, even though conditioning is on. Laughter, deep belly laughter, breathing exercises as well, hello. Activate your vagus nerve system because you're moving your diaphragm more, you're exercising your diaphragm. In energy practices, the diaphragm is known as the seat of the emotional body or the astral body, interchangeable terms for the same thing. Laughter is the best way to relieve stress. It is economical, it's cheap. All you really have to do is wait for me to make another live, listen to whatever stuff I have to share, and I will promise from today onwards, every time I'm on live, I will do a laughter session for at least a minute, and it will go something like this. Hey, would you laugh with me for a minute? You don't need a reason to laugh. Every time I hear my laughter, I have been told, and I have told myself mostly, your laughter sounds retardedly evil. And that's fine, you do it anyways, because fake it till you make it. Your body cannot tell the difference between real laughter and fake laughter. You do fake laughter, you fake it, you will make it. It will become natural to you. You will get the healthcare benefits. The healthcare benefits coming from the deep stimulation, the exercise releasing endorphins, feel-good hormones, the deep stimulation of the abdominal muscles and the diaphragm, and the deeper breathing, which activates your vagus nerve system, your parasympathetic nerve system, which in turn enhances your immune response. And Dr. Madan Kataria says he has lived 23 years without even getting a simple cold, and when he ever got anything, it never lasted the day. Hello, Mariam. So I'm going to end this video. Thank you for laughing along. If you managed to laugh, if you're going to watch this again and you're going to laugh, please leave a comment. The comment being the emoji, this emoji. Let's see if I can get it there, the laughter one. I will be doing this again and again, inshallah. Every Sunday I'll be going live. That's also part of my personal development. Do I believe in Freud's theories? I know Freud's theories. I agree with a lot of them. I believe Freud has been misrepresented because of the audacity of some of the things he said. But yes, Freud was horribly on point. Like Darwin, many of the things we believe Freud said he hadn't. That's what the press had to say. I don't believe in things. I believe in people. I believe in myself. Perhaps my religion I believe in. When it comes to being asked, do I believe in something, my answer always is, I don't believe in things. I either know them or I don't. So Freud's theories, I know them, I agree with many of them. I wouldn't use the same stories, but the stories as they are good enough. So we're talking about the Oedipus complex, the Electra complex after his investigations of the subconscious mind. I believe he was on point. I know his theories. They're very usable, but then again, I have my own comments on psychoanalysis and the diagnostic method, and specifically when it's done psychoanalytically. Um, uh, at the risk of sounding like one of those professionals with their noses in the air, if done unprofessionally, it really can have a negative effect. So you can have something known as countertransference and transference with your clients, and you can create problems where none existed, which is a normal risk of therapy, by the way. So Freud, I know him, I like him, I like mostly the insane stuff about him. There's much argument about what he said, but like it or not, he seems to have been on point. It's just that what he said was. So the Oedipus complex is, most simply put, so every little boy wants to kill his father and fuck his mother. Excuse me for the vulgarity. Based on the Oedipus story of Oedipus Rex, which comes from Old Greek or Latin literature, I don't remember specifically. Sparta, so Greek. So Oedipus was a Spartan who was discarded because when he was born, he seemed to be weak, so they put a nail through his ankles, and that's what Oedipus means, holes in the ankles, and they threw him off the mountain, which was tradition because he seemed weakly. He was saved by some random old person who took him and raised him as his own, and he grew into a fine young chap. And he was traveling one day, and he passed by a horse on carriage passed him by, and there was conflict, and he fought with him and he killed him. So he took over the carriage, and he went to this man's kingdom, or through to this man's property, because that was the law of the land. If you kill me, you own everything that I own. He went and he impressed his wife, hit his wife, and then by the end of the story, the big surprise, the reveal, is the man he killed was his father, and the woman he was screwing was his mother. I studied deer in Australia, New Zealand, and that's where I got my Bachelor of Health Sciences and Psychology from New Zealand. In Australia, I was pursuing a career in pediatrics, and that did not work out. And then I did a postgraduate diploma here at the UAE University in Al Ain in the UAE. I was supposed to build onto a master's, which I never got, and I did all my hypnosis trainings at home, online, and a couple of them in person when I finally found people I trust to learn with. So that was in Dubai for the hypnosis and hypnotherapy. And I hope that has answered all the questions. Follow me along. Every Sunday I'm going to get online. It's going to be after 4 p.m. because I work till 4, but I don't know when it's going to be exactly. I might choose a time eventually. Every time you get on, we're going to laugh together for at least a minute, and that's part of my personal development and gratitude to Dr. Madan Kataria. Help me spread the word, people. Spread this video if you can. I'm not sure you can. You can't. This is a live. I'm going to share it on YouTube or Facebook eventually. Thanks for joining The World According to the Nasman. Just remember, every day, in every way, it gets better and better, and that's my motto, whatever it is.